Have you ever been in a relationship where you're striving for connection, yet no matter what you try, how you reach out, how you explain yourself or illustrate examples, nothing seems to get through? Now this could be because your partner's lacking empathy. Hi, I'm Sophie from Trident Wellbeing and I'm a mind and wellbeing coach. In this series, I'm focusing on emotional abuse, the effects of narcissism, and how to recognise if you're experiencing the toxicity that can occur in such a relationship. If you like what I have to say, please subscribe and share, as you never know who may benefit or who may be hiding what is going on behind the scenes in their life. The sad thing about emotional abuse, particularly by those with narcissistic traits, is that often those being abused are not even really aware of how this is happening and how it happened in the past and how it continues to keep occurring. You may know someone who keeps going over and over the same stories to you to the extent that you want them just to stop. I know, I've heard someone to be told to either piss in the pot or to get off it. They've gone on and on about their story so many times. If, however, it was as easy as that, I wouldn't be coaching so many people that are and have been experiencing this ongoing cycle of emotional abuse. Those that talk and talk about it are searching for understanding and validation. If you know someone like this, please know that they're usually trying to do so to calm their inner turmoil. Some find clarity in their situation or even advice in how they can rectify the situation. These are the people that usually blame themselves and think if they can fix who they are, then their relationship will be fine. One of the ways that the narcissist can mess with your mind is by giving off a number of mixed messages. Now, if you've done any research on narcissism, you might be aware that they're incapable of showing true empathy. They're unable to authentically put themselves in your shoes and to feel what you feel. So if you're hurt or anxious, usually by their behaviour, and you try and explain this to them, it won't come as a surprise that they're just not going to be able to relate to you. This is not where the actual hurt comes from, but rather when you're trying so hard to reach them and to create connection, to repair the angst or the pain, or heal after an argument, and you're instead met with more blame shifting, fault finding, and a total disregard for what you are trying to actually do. Carl Rogers, one of the pioneers of the personal-centered approach to psychology, added that for a person to grow, they require an environment that provides them with genuineness, openness, unconditional acceptance, and empathy. Without these core elements, relationships and healthy personalities will be unable to thrive. For each and every person that I've coached that has been involved in such abusive relationships, there has consistently been an inability to be fully accepted as they are, or the freedom to express their genuine concerns and feelings. I was working with one old lady, having been in a relationship for 20 plus years. She was told what to wear, and this was way more revealing than she would have liked. She was expected to behave in certain ways all the time, and if she expressed her disdain for being left alone time and time again, she was reminded that she had many modern conveniences, that they were being afforded to her because of all the time and hard work that required him to be away, and that instead she should be more appreciative and accepting. Now this lady used all types of approaches to make him see that she just wanted connection and companionship, that his absences hurt her. And instead of validating or even acknowledging that she had these feelings, she was told what to feel instead, so that she should be appreciative and she should be accommodating. There was never any empathy for how his behaviour was affecting her. Similarly, I worked with a gentleman that had nursed his sick wife from the brink of death. He'd been so afraid of losing her that when she did regain her health, he continued to do everything from being the main breadwinner to cleaning to picking up the kids to looking after the pets. He in one way didn't mind, but he was feeling isolated and lonely. And in the attempt to have a nice home, well-educated family, pay all the bills, and plus care for all the members of his family, his partner just left him to it, and she never heard his needs. By the time he came to see me, he was depressed, overweight, having tried to cope with some really unhealthy eating practices, and his wife had no idea or care as to why he felt this way. She was now able to help him, but instead chose not to, or chose not to hear or notice his needs. The thing with those that have this type of abuse is that they are usually caring, empathic people. They're usually high on the scale of people pleasing, and it already takes a lot for them to ask for help or to discuss their feelings. When someone then chooses not to hear them, and I do say yes, chooses, as we can all be aware of others' feelings, and we make a choice about how we respond to that. So even if you're unable to feel real empathy, however, you always have the ability to hear the other person, validate their feelings, and try and reach out and help them emotionally. It is the truly unempathic person that does not want to do this. They are the ones that accuse, blame, and criticize the efforts of the person trying to reach out. They are the ones that show no remorse and have no accountability. Now, this type of relationship creates a real incongruence within us, as how we feel inside doesn't match the treatment we receive and the hopes for a better understanding and connection. We feel genuine care for our partner, believe they felt the same way, yet there seems to be no real effort to understand the other partner's feelings, authentically work on the issues in a proper long-term manner, or to even meet some sort of mid-ground. This is when you know that this trait on narcissism is on the spectrum, but is quite strong. Now, your choice then is to leave with the knowledge that they're never going to change, or if leaving isn't possible. And I stress this also in my course, which is in the link below, as leaving is not often a viable option. There can be children, finances, culture, religion, and any other number of factors that need to be taken into account. In this situation, the option is to change your expectations. Know that the connection you seek is not going to come from this partner. Once you can accept that, you can choose a different behaviour so that you are no longer trying to explain, hope, and illustrate how your needs are not being met. This won't help with developing closeness, but it will help you alter how you try and reach out. And once we know what isn't going to work, it's futile to keep repeating that behaviour. Instead, there comes a time to change our focus, maybe concentrate more on our health, our education, other family members and friendships, so that we can feel less the victim and more the thriver. And in this way, we're choosing to respond and not react. Please subscribe and share as we all need support, but often we don't know where or how to reach out, and if our situation is a real problem. If you have any questions, please leave them below and message me and I'll address them in another vlog. Until next time, I'm sending you much love.